Let's do it. Let's do it. You guys will have to tell me if you can see this screen when I bring this here in a moment. We open on a vast cosmos. Magenta gold lens flare flashes against this deep purple sky, dotted with twinkling silver stars and it's like every once in a while swirling red kind of cloud-like strands, almost look like webbing of this like space dust. In the background of the scene, we see a spherical reflective structure. It's about 1,000 feet across, this big sphere, made of silvery metallic substance. It's floating about 1,000 yards from you guys. And a small skiff with 2 yellow humanoids is quickly approaching the floating forms of Xerxes and Kale, who are currently about 100 feet above the buildings of Turnstile, which are below them. They had just floated out kind of towards the library that they were trying to reach. But were kind of unable to get there, not getting any closer as they tried. This week. Let me see if this is. I don't think there's dynamic lighting. Can you see things on the screen?
Green hasn't changed.
Good. That's even better. Settings, points. Oop, well, 20 just froze on my side. Things are boding well.
I can see it just fine.
Oh, good. Oh.
It's a very nicely made map, Michael.
You like that cool boat?
It's a very cool boat.
Okay, so you see this this small inflatable sea craft approaching you with 2 creatures. They look. Just give you a nice little quick shift click of one of them. Looks like this, yellow skinned. Kind of looks elven. Kind of looks. Alien, if you will. Kind of just an interesting looking folk. This yellow skin, this splotchy brown dots, like kind of freckling their skin with these pointed ears, no nose, sunken eyes, and cool hairdos. Are seeming like they're on their way over to you, Kale and Xerxes, in this ship that has left the large reflective spherical library that you were just trying to approach the background. As you guys are floating about 100 feet or so above the buildings. This thing is just headed your way. Is there anything the two of you do? Let's just see this happen.
Well, do we try to flag them down? Need them back out on the floor.
Do we need them? Like, we know where we're going, right?
Yeah, but we don't seem to be making any progress. Towards the library, at least. That boat came from there, so maybe we could
Hitch a ride.
either hitch a ride with them or see what little dock it lands at. See if we can go.
I'm cool with either. Kale's choice.
We'll float back down.
Alright, so you guys start
And see where the boat goes.
floating down towards towards the building tops. And as you guys are getting down to the top, you kind of peg this thing as it kind of goes over the top of the building that you're kind of near, and then arcs around in this wide arc before like coming to a halt, just floating there maybe 30-40 feet away from you. And one of them gets out and very quickly floats over in your direction. He's moving in this like anti-gravity way, and like you get the sense that he's quite used to this, and he kind of like jettisons off the boat in your direction. He has this massive sword on his back, this massive like silver great sword on his back, and he just kind of like comes at you fairly quickly before floating up and kind of halting there, looking you both over before saying something that you neither of you understand, and then looking at you both again. Must I speak the common tongue to you for you to understand me? Anyways,
Yes,
to see if you understand.
that was better.
What are you doing here, and where are you trying to go?
Well, we were trying to get up to the library.
And it seems you couldn't get
Because
there. May I see your passes?
Passes.
Yes, one cannot enter the library without a pass. One cannot even get there without one, and you would know that if you, if you're from...
We're from
these
around here?
parts. Yes. It seems you're lost. Is that right?
Yep. That's pretty accurate.
He kind of looks back
over
his shoulder and like says something in a different language to his compadre that's in the boat. He says something back to him, and he kind of like gives a nod. I see. So what is it you're looking for?
We're looking for a companion of ours that... I don't know what the best way to say it. I don't know. He either went willingly into a portal that led him to the astral plane, or was tricked to go into the portal. And we know it went to the astral sea, which we presume is where we are now. But we don't really have any better way to figure out where he went afterwards.
I see. He kind of turns around and says something again. He's like, well, if you're looking for someone, perhaps they are back in our custody. Maybe they're looking for you. Does that
When did they get here?
Oh, it would have been. Well, I guess it depends on how time works here. For
You
us,
clearly not very familiar. It's astonishing you've got this far, to be honest, without someone taking advantage of you. Why don't you and your friend here, he looks over at Xerxes, hop in the back of the skiff, come with us, and we'll get you sorted.
I don't mean to be rude, but who exactly are you?
You can call me Jace of the Silver Sword. You probably know us like the equivalent of a town guard where you're from.
and if we get in that boat, where exactly are we going?
Well, we'll take you back to one of our centers, and we can look into the archives and see if your friend is here.
Does he seem to be telling the truth?
Make an insight.
First roll of the night. Nice.
Even though he has these kind of like strange and almost alien mannerisms about him, you know a shady character when you see one, and he doesn't seem to be being truthful. He's being shifty.
Well, we appreciate the offer, but we actually have some folks waiting for us back where we're staying. We may have to take you up on that at another time.
Where is it you're staying? We could take you there as well.
No need. No need. We know how to get there. We got here, after all.
He kind of looks over his shoulder and says something bad. They exchange again. He's like,
Well, we can always escort you from above.
Free country, or... yeah. Free country. Come on, Cal. Let's go back.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go tell the guy over there that we were talking to earlier that we no longer need his boat. So give me just count to like 10. And I want to run over to Xerxes that, yeah.
okay.
So I'm gonna leave Xerxes standing there with the guy, and I want to run over to where whatever the guy we spoke with last week was, just kind of in the area.
Yeah, so that's like somewhere about like 100 or so feet away. Yeah.
The two yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to be close.
Did I lose you? I think I lost you. Have we lost him?
It's actually weird. It shows that he's talking on Discord, but...
Yeah, he was there. Oh, it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
Nope. Are you there?
Discord reboot.
You go to Google, and you just type in Google Fiber. I got some great rates on some internet.
I think it's fiber.
Oh, are you back? Nope. You're cutting in and out.
I like
Mainly
how
out.
we just get like a little piece. So cool. Oop, looks like it's
Neat.
Oop, I got neat. We got neat. Neat. We got 2 neats.
Real.
Go for 3.
Wanted to.
While we're waiting, can I ask a newbie question about the multi-class spell table?
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, multi-class.
Even multi-classing? Cool.
Yeah. No one's done that here. No one knows what that's like. When it tells me to like add up my spellcaster levels, I go to that level of the table. Like if I'm a 9th level spellcaster all mushed together, I go to that level of the table, and that tells me my available spell slots, right? But it's my class that determines what type of spells I have access to. Do I have that right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Think so.
I've never
It might not be able to
multi-classed.
tell you more without more specifics.
Yeah, well,
Because
I'm
there
pretty
are
sure.
some odd
I'm pretty
cases.
sure. We're gonna go this way. I'm erring on the good side. Like I'm not giving myself access to higher level spells because I don't think I have it.
So I think, yeah, like, let's say, for instance, you're like a level 9 cleric that's like a level also 5 druid or something.
Mhm.
Even though you might have like 6th and 7th level spell slots, I think you can still only as like that cleric pick up
Yep.
to 5th level.
That's okay.
You can
That's
still
how
use those spell slots, like the
Yep.
upcast.
But
You
have
just
to
can't.
upcast, yep.
You just can't prepare spells of that level until you
Yep.
get it in that class.
Cool. That's what
At
I
least
thought.
that's how I understand it.
Yep, that's how I understand it as well. All right, carry on.
Tis
Preston
accurate.
might be back.
That sounds like he is.
I don't know much about multi-classing, so especially as a caster. That's complicated.
As long as you're a double full caster, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
Warlock gets tricky.
Yeah, so-
Are either of these dudes wearing or holding something metal?
Yeah, they both have metal armor on.
Good. I want to cast a Veil.
Maybe. I love.
And I want to cast this on the guy that's still sitting in the boat.
Okay, great. Can't wait.
I think I clicked it.
About to find out.
Tried to click it. Is it trying to ask me?
You might be trying to ask you what level it says.
That's what I was looking. I was looking for that prompt, but I don't see it. Cool.
I think one time for me it showed up like in a different window, like behind
Just
the
gonna do
current
that.
one.
Oh, he
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like down below.
Just down a little
right?
ways. Yeah. Just maybe a little out of sight. 60 feet away. You know.
One in the boat. With the heat metal. Constitution? Saving throw. Straight up. Straight up Constitution save. 7. 7!
Yeah. No. That do be a fail.
Okay. Give me some fire damage. 2d8 fire damage.
Nope. All right.
So Xerxes, you see, I'm gonna put, I guess, here. You see pieces of this guy's armor that's kind of like these pieces of like it essentially makes up a full plate of armor, but they're just like smaller, skimpy, almost like pieces of armor, just like metallic silver. Start to like turn red and fizzle as he screams out like, "Oh, what the?" In the boat.
Hey, think your buddy there is having a bit of an issue. Anyway, guess I'll see you around. And he'll just turn around and start walking calmly toward Kale.
You start moving towards Kale. He turns around and looks at his pal there quizzically. And Kale, do you keep the spell going?
Only up until like we're kind of away from them to where they probably would lose us in the crowd. So whether that's another roll or not.
Yeah, definitely. Give me one more.
Sure.
So yeah, he like floats over, and you guys get then into an alleyway of this place. As you're dipping into the alley, and you're kind of like looking back up, there's kind of like you note that like these small floating boats kind of have this really nice aerial position if they were to fly over the top of these alleyways that they can see like basically straight down into them as you guys float down in. So like you immediately are like, if we're gonna get out of like, full view of these guys, we need to like start moving.
Yeah.
And kind of. But yeah, there's some commotion. You can hear them like kind of like loud voices to each other, but they're screaming in a different language. So you don't quite understand. They're just like kind of angrily yelling at each other. You get the sense that as you're kind of going beneath this alley into the alleyway, like as you're looking back, you can see him starting to like taking off the straps of his armor, trying to get this guy out of this armor that's burning him alive. That is currently what's happening up there at the boat as you guys dip into the alleyway.
Yeah, once we get in the alley, I'll drop the spell. And then... Big guy, I think we gotta go.
He just nods at him.
Amazing. So yeah, you guys start moving through the alleyway. And where is it that you are?
Back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll. Actually, I'll use it. So yeah, you guys start making your way back to. Yeah, it's not too hard for you to get there from where you were. You basically went out into the main square of this like kind of big open area, and then over to the docks before encountering these two. Before kind of dipping in this alleyway and then making your way back to the tavern. It takes you 5 minutes to navigate your way there, but yeah, you're easily able to kind of find that alleyway that looks a lot like your home and find the spawning portal there. And to enter. This is the kind of wooden tavern on the inside, has the multi-level with kind of an upper balcony area. There's a few people that you see immediately when you walk in, uh, but everyone seems to be minding their own business. And there is the automaton barkeep that I don't think had a name. Unless he did, and someone remembers it, but I don't think he did.
I don't know if you offered, and I don't think we asked.
Wasn't he a robot?
Yeah, he's an automaton, but he has a physical, like, real hair mustache.
I think Highball. I think that's his name.
Highball is a good name.
That was pretty good.
Barkeep. Yeah. His name is Highball, and he has a real hair mustache growing out of his face. But yeah, you guys easily walk right in.
Well, Gale, I don't exactly know who those people were, but they were clearly up to no good.
I kind of got that vibe. I'm glad you took a second to do some insight. Although
Can't
it's- I
always
don't
trust
figure out
people
where
at their
we're
word.
going. So I feel like if they somehow track us back here, we might be in some trouble.
A couple of lizard men with big swords don't scare me.
That's fine. Might not just be two of them next time, though.
Maybe we should ask Highball who they are.
Excuse me, Sir Highball.
His head turns and looks to you and
Yes, you were wanting me to kind of ask around about this. Did you tell me his name was Selig? I think you did. The Selig fella.
Yeah. That was his name.
The good news is there is always drinks here to be had. The bad news is I know nothing. My contacts have brought back a goose egg on that name. I'm not sure if there's a Selig here in the city, unless he's going by something else.
Yeah, we kind of figured it would be a long shot to find any information about him. He's probably not even on the registry, if I'm going to be honest, but, you know. Anyway, do you know, I guess you could call them a police force, or what did he refer to them as? City guards that float around? Tall guys, pointy ears, no nose, yellow skin.
Yeah, the gift.
Are they legit? Are they actually guards?
In one way or another, they are peacekeepers to some extent, but they also are not here for the greater good for the most part. I would steer clear of them. Don't anger them. Just avoid them if you see them. Kind of walk the other way.
Good. We definitely did that.
They're a rough type. They're employed by Turnstile. But they're militaristic. Power goes to their heads, I'd say. It's a good way to explain that. The ones here aren't nearly as bad as the ones acting of their Queen's Accord. But I wouldn't. I just steer clear of them, and you'll be fine. They don't have a real authority here, but that also goes both ways, to the extent that it's a little bit lawless sometimes. People don't generally like to mess with them.
Good to know. Well,
You wouldn't happen to know how we could get our hands on a pass to the library, would you?
I could ask some people, see what I can do. It usually takes a few weeks to get something like that. You can make an application. It's a long process, a lot of paperwork. I might be able to get
library?
you. Yeah, it's exclusive up there. They've got a lot of info. I think a lot of fancy books. Not much for reading. Though I
Alright.
can read in 800 languages.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Just don't like to do it.
Is there a expedited way of getting up there?
I mean, like I said, I could maybe pull in some favors. There'll be a cost, and still.
Are there any
you could also just
shipments?
make look for a smart person and see if they'll take. I think there's guest passes.
Are there any shipments that tend to go to and from the library? You ever sent any ale up that way?
No ale. What ale goes to the library? That's an interesting question, for sure. That I don't know the answer to.
800 languages, huh?
812, but who's counting?
Ah, just you. Well, what do you think, X? Take the expedited route? Go flag down a, quote, smart person?
He'll turn around and fill up 2 more pints. Look at you and say,
I know I said the first one's on the house, but it sounds like you guys are having kind of a rough day.
puts 2 more pints on the table.
Oh, you're a pal.
Well, kind of spinning our wheels here a little bit.
How quickly, if we take the expedited route, could you get passes made?
How much coin do you have, or favor do you have?
Just how quickly? How quickly is the quickest?
A week, maybe.
Oh, so not like tomorrow.
I can see what I can do, but don't get your hopes up. But do get your checkbook out.
And he kind of spins around and makes his way to the back to go talk to his people that he apparently just has in spades. So.
What are the chances he can come back in a day? And what are the chances we have enough money to pay him?
Both seem unlikely.
I tend to agree with you.
Many things are unlikely in the Astral Sea, as a woman with a wide-brimmed, steepled hat is suddenly just appearing sitting on one of the bar stools next to you that definitely wasn't there before, as she sips a glass of wine. Well. You said you were looking for a resident smart person that could get you into the library. I may just so happen to know one or two.
Oh, well. That would certainly help. My name is Xerxes. This is Kale. Who may you be?
You can call me Emmy. Good. I, notice you've had a bit of trouble since you've been here. We'll run in with the authorities.
To be honest, I don't go anywhere where I don't get in trouble with the authorities. Kind of as a reoccurring.
Already. The sticklers, aren't they?
And a bit racist.
Ooh. Racist where you come from.
Yeah. They seem to not like the red skin and giant horns.
Off with them. They don't really matter. Well, what is it you are looking for in this ostentatious library up in the sky?
Trying to find record of where a companion of ours would be.
Ooh,
We were
which
told
one?
that-
Which one are you looking for right now?
What do you mean, which one?
The short one, the scaled one. Name started with an S, I think. And then there was a few others. 2 elves, I thought, and some third person.
You know awful lot there, Emmy.
Well, you just so happened to pique my interest when you came by here earlier. I just happened to hear a little of your conversation with Highball over there.
And Emmy is a human woman?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Looks kind of like that. Took me forever to make the token. A pain in my ass. There she is.
And you see now her robes are actually, they kind of look like they reflect, or they look like the sky of the astral sea itself. Kind of twinkling and cosmic.
And what's
Well,
your
if you could-
goal?
Please, only one at a time.
Go ahead, X.
No, if you could get us to the library, that would be a big help, but what's in it for you other than, interest, I guess?
Could be a bit of a cosmic coincidence. You see, I may have a lead on some of those people you're interested in. Not all, grant you.
In my, why?
Why?
And how?
Why? Yeah, why?
Why do I know that?
Yeah.
Well, we've been here for a little while. We've been doing some research. We hear things. We stand around. People talk.
It's been like an hour.
Oh, I had heard this before we'd gotten here. I didn't think anything of it until I heard you over talking just a moment ago.
Well, did you happen to know if the short, scaly one, as you called it, was with anybody else?
It's not the one I heard about, actually.
And which one did you hear about?
Your other companions. Why are you so eager to find them? I mean, one should always look out for their friends, sure. But coming all the way to the astral sea, that's quite the risk. Especially if you're unfamiliar with what you're going to find running into.
Well, truthfully, I'm just here so that Xerxes makes it back home. But he has some ties to all three of them, I suppose. And he
His
felt it was
friendship-
important to search.
Friendship not enough?
Certainly is. I'm just curious. Can't blame a girl, can you?
I'm afraid it's a terribly boring tale that ends with the destruction of the realm that I'm from.
Oh, that doesn't sound too boring at all. Aren't we all just trying to stop a realm from getting destroyed?
I mean, literally, yes.
We got plenty of time in the Astral Sea. I could, hear a tale or two. You got the time?
You're buying the next round.
Absolutely. Highball, whenever you're done messing around back there, bring out another round of drinks.
You hear it clattering, like in the back, and then eventually Eyeball comes back down. He sees you there. I mean, and he goes under the bar, brings out a bottle of wine, fills your glass, and two of you ready for another one?
I believe they are. And go ahead and bring out two more as well. Guys, whenever you're, ready, come meet our new friends.
Well, all that intelligence, and I see you're still ordering the wrong thing, Emmy. When will you see the error of your ways and enjoy a good tankard of ale?
I've been able to enjoy a good tankard of ale since my first one in that rotten tavern across from Trollskull Manor. Back when it was named that, of course. Recall that?
Rotten indeed. You see a dwarf, gray beard that has about a half a tankard of ale in it. And half a tankard of ale in one hand and a full ale, soon to be in the other, from his friend Highball. He is up there in years and seems to have a real camaraderie with Emmy. They you can tell, kind of rib each other, but in a playful way. And he is up there in years, and is the kind of the gruff counterpart to Emmy's brilliance.
He may have once looked like this, but I think he's looks a little older now.
Well, hello there, Master Dwarf. Who might you be?
Rurik is the name. Rurik Ungart. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. It seems like I've run into a couple jovial ne'er-do-wells here, right up my alley. Let's toss one back. Tell some stories of the old days and the old places, shall we?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of stories to swap. They sound like they're on their own grand adventure. Their own world-ending stakes.
Well, those are certain. If I had an ale for every one of those I heard about today, I'd have both of these ales.
Well, maybe you'd like a third.
Oh well, the day is young.
Yeah, and as you're down on the first two, thinking of that third, what kind of tall-tale adventures are you guys on? You speak similar to us. You seem like you are familiar with what we're going through.
Oh, we've been here for a little bit, a few months. Something like that, it's hard to tell. And we've been following the trail of some mercenaries and slavers out here. One that has to do with an incident with an old friend of ours. A man that goes by the name of Sidious. We're trying to track him down, and we think we're finding some clues. And it's all... Well, it is a long tale of why exactly we're out here in the Astral Sea. We too are trying to quell and figure out more about some cataclysmic entities out there. Have you ever heard of any elder evils?
I don't know about elder, but certainly one or two that we would consider
Something
evil.
so primordial, so old, so distant. It's hard to be even sure they exist at all. Except if you know where to look.
Well, I assure you the one that we're after exists.
Or after one of our own? Seems at least our paths cross for now.
Yes, the trail runs hot, the trail runs cold. You can see why we might have known a little bit about your adventure before you got here. Signs can point to the same place when someone is pulling the strings, as it were.
Yeah, I suppose there sometimes can be a way that things connect.
I think we certainly could use some companionship, as our day has consisted of getting lost in an administrative building and wandering around a harbor and almost getting kidnapped by reptile men. I think he called them Geth. I don't know.
You'll definitely want to avoid all gift, basically. A bunch of no-good thugs think they can build an empire out here. The Astral Seas would take too chaotic to establish something like that. But, whatever. Best just to avoid them. Anyways, where's our other friend, Ruick? Did you see him?
Well, I wasn't paying attention to anything anyone was doing. I was just enjoying my ale here. What kind of accusation is that? I mean, to each his own, I say. People can come, people can go. I'm not too attached.
Wait, is it his shift right now?
Oh, of course. I must have lost track of time. I'm behind on my ales. Hint. You see as he's now out of ale.
Kale slides the one in front of him over.
You come there then. Maybe we can find some more about your other friend, Salik. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Sure. Who finished his ales, of course, wasn't surprised.
Yes.
His potion for the day. Quota for the day.
The library does seem to be a special place, a bit over my head, as it were. I choose to kind of trust my eyes more than what is in a book, but I know people who get a great deal of information that has been useful, just not my thing.
Come a long way, Rook.
I'm nothing if not flexible.
Well, I've seen some moments.
This place, though, it's, I'm sure you felt it. It's even your movements so much as dependent on the mind. It's not a place that's befitting for a brute like me. Look at this. And he takes off his gauntlets and he takes off his belt and lays them on the bar. Have you ever seen anything as magnificent as these two items? They're magical. Magical, would you believe it?
Sir, this is a family show.
These gauntlets. I just cue him up. These gauntlets give you the power of an ogre. And this belt gives you the power and strength of a giant. Do you know what they do for me? Nothing!
Nothing.
Because I'm already powerful enough. But here, does that do anything? No. It's all reliance on the mind. Even getting up to go to the can after a few ales. It's all reliant on the mind. Of course, I have heard tale of maybe somewhere around here finding a third piece of the triumvirate of this armor, but as such, it has eluded me as a side quest so far. But this strength, these two hands that have hewn rock, but also crafted stone, it just, here it's all about the mind. And so that library is kind of the epicenter of this place. It's very exclusive. I don't quite understand it. I'm just, just trying to find an ancient evil and fight off the impending doom of our entire civilization, again.
Thank you for coming along, Rook. I know this isn't your favorite place.
Well, look, I know you didn't need me, but, maybe you need me.
Oh. Of course I'll need you here. At least one of you showed up with me. Well, I think if I remember how the pass system works, I should be able to get us some temporary guest passes for at least a one-time visit. Is that right? Can I do that later? Okay.
Yeah, as long as one of you has a pass, the group.
Yeah. So, shall we go? Shall we make our way to the library? Round 2.
Lead the way.
Suppose we
Most
could do
certainly.
that. Word of warning, if there are 2 Gith still around where the boats launch, we might want to avoid them. So they might be mad at us or still looking for us.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out. Not too worried. All right. On our way. Leave some good money for eyeball there. Enough to cover the tab and extra.
Right. So, make some new friends. Okay. Make your way towards the library. The new buds. This time, as you're just kind of led outside by Emmy and Rurik, as they kind of start floating up towards the library, like you get to that point where you guys got kind of stuck, and just like you were continually moving but not getting any closer. This time you get there in almost no time, approaching this massive metallic sphere with all these little like entry holes, like entry doors, these little like essentially balconies sticking out in all different angles. So like if you were to land on them, it's just on this sphere. The gravity makes zero sense. And you land on this little balcony and you walk in, and inside this place, immediately it is like you're not really inside anywhere at all. For everywhere you look, you can just see the astral cosmos. You just see the astral space. Even looking behind you, you see the astral sea. The city of Turnstile just seems to vanish when you're looking outside of the library. It's like this place exists in the middle of space and time. And you can't really tell you're inside, even though you clearly walked in this big metallic sphere. All around you, this maybe 1,000 feet across, are these massive rings. These rings made of metal bands and interior wood, and they're these like concentric rings that are always spinning and moving very like slowly, and they are massive bookshelves, stacked probably like 3 stories tall. These massive rings that just kind of spin slowly around the interior, all going in all different directions. In the center is a 100-foot diameter crystal. This like massive floating crystal. It's kind of like purple pink in coloration, and it's glowing. This glow. And every so often, sometimes every few seconds, sometimes every few minutes, just kind of seems almost random, these like tendrils of that same glowing pinkish light kind of jut off of the main thing and go and touch a random area on the concentric bookshelves, these rings. It almost looks like one of those like crystal balls that you put your hand on and the like tendrils look up and touch your fingers, like that you'd see like in Spencer's or something. But they go in. Yeah, exactly. This kind of glowing light reaches out and touches a random part. And as you're like looking at this, like taking this all in, you can actually see like, you know, it's 100 feet tall, so like the people are very small, and you can see that people float over towards the massive crystal and seem to touch it, and then moments later a tendril licks off, and then they follow that like guiding light to the bookcases on the outside wall, just like ever swirling around, and it's almost as if they're like being guided to what they're looking for by this massive crystal in the center. There are a bunch of tables just kind of floating, and then there are some like full-on like areas that are like these crystal rooms that you can like go into, just like floating throughout the space. Emmy and Rourke, you've been here multiple times. You guys have an area set up in one of these rooms that you guys like to like generally be, and that would be where your companion would likely be. You guys have interacted with the library a lot since you've been here, and you kind of understand its workings. When you're after something specific, you commune with the library. You go to that massive crystal in its center, and you ask it for what you seek, and it will find the books that you can find knowledge in. But it's obviously a bit more complicated than that, but it does generally like guide you to what you seek, as long as you know what you seek.
A giant search engine.
Yeah, it is Google. It's great.
You guys ever heard of Google?
It's great. You guys should really.
Yeah. This place has got Google Fiber. You know, it's fantastic.
Yeah, 1,000 gigabits. But yeah, so that's kind of what you see when you enter, and there are people just floating throughout. It's a big quiet space. There's like just this hum of the moving, like, spinning things. Just like, it's cool library.
Emmy will guide everyone to their spot, mostly so they can meet our other friends.
Yeah,
Give
cool.
a
So
good
this
introduction.
little crystalline structure, they do have doors on them, wooden doors, and a big circular table on the interior. The table is filled with books when you walk in, and there are a few like random little bookshelves in here as well that some books are just kind of stacked up on. And Marshall, do you want to describe who they see in this space?
Yeah, so when you get into the room, he's probably decently obscured by a couple stacks of books. You will see wearing a beautiful combination of red, yellow, and orange robes. A smaller figure with a staff propped up next to him. He's got 5 books spread out, all open in front. He has brown, scraggly hair, if you will. But one thing of note, you see 2 little horns just like poking up out from the top of his head. And he'll just look up and say, "Ah, good, you're back. Oh, and you brought help. Fantastic. I tried a new search for the worm, and it directed me to several new volumes we hadn't found yet. So this should go great."
Hey, more stuff to comb through. They have their own searches they might look for, but we think we can help each other. A companion of theirs, by the name of Selig. They really haven't said much more about him yet. But, you know, there were a couple lost puppies I noticed earlier. Couldn't help it.
That checks out. Who am I to stop you from that? Both Rourke and I are forever in your debt for that.
Shall we get the Kraken? Do you all, looking to Xerxes and Kale, do you all need assistance with finding something you're looking for here, or you think you've grappled?
I've got a couple logs from entrance to the turnstile over here. I was taking a break and looking for some more information on Barbas. When did Selig come through here? Do you know?
For us, it would have been a few days ago.
You hear that?
That was outside the astral realm time.
Interesting. And he'll just start. Well, he'll hand you a book, and then he'll start looking like, well, I've got, it looks like last week right here, and this looks like the latest edition from Tuesday onwards. So, you know, best get cracking.
Does somebody say Kraken? Where?
Not yet, Rourke.
You remember that time, right, Emmy? Admit it now, it was fun.
Okay, it was fun. It was very messy. I swear I smelled that thing for weeks.
Well, that's because I didn't shower. I was reliving the moment.
That was you the whole time? You just refused to shower. That's why I had to put up with that smell.
Hey, you gotta dance with the girl you brought. And this is the girl you brought.
Okay.
Whatever boat we book had better have a shower then, Rourke. I Y'all already starting to get a little ripe, and it's just been a couple weeks since you got here, and there hasn't been a Kraken either.
At least make sure you freshen up before we do go on the ride. Or I'll do it for you. I know you don't
Right.
like the magic cleaning.
The Sunday best, as you call it. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll be good.
As you guys kind of start digging through those logs, digging into the books, we will take our 822 and then continue with Astral Adventures. BRB. You've encountered some folk somewhat similar to yourselves, in some ways more than others, but they speak similarly. They seem to act somewhat similarly. They seem like they have maybe a better feel for this place than the two of you, who have only been here for a few hours at this point. You've made your way to the Astral Library. Olos Cientos, on a nice little day pass, which is nice. And are now like kind of in this this crystalline structure floating around the interior of this massive library filled with all kinds of knowledge from all planes, possibly. Who's to say? They've told you a little bit about what they're doing. They seem to know a little bit about what you guys are up to, possibly because they've been listening to a bit of the things you've been saying as you're walking around this place. What is it that we want to do from here? Do you want to do some research on your own? Do you want to enlist the help of your new acquaintances? I know you've told them a little bit about what you're looking for. You're looking for, say, like we've got. I don't have that token fully working. Get the name on there. My goodness, how could I do that to you? Rurik is his name showing. Yeah, okay.
While you're figuring that out, something else that would have been a note while we were combing over some of the records. A fruit bat would eventually crawl out from underneath Emmy's hat and start crawling her over the table. She would like pull out a fruit and give it to the bat. And she would introduce the bat at some point as Dragon. It's just Dragon. He's been with me for a very long time. Such a good boy.
It's an interesting place to keep a pet, no?
I mean, he likes it under there. And he could also go into his own little comfy pocket dimension if you'd like to.
I think at some point Kale would kind of isolate him and Xerxes and just strike up a conversation about, what do you think of these three? Should we join them? Should we ask them to join us?
I mean, it can't hurt to have friends that are a little bit more aware of our surroundings and how it works. If they can help us find Selig and the others, I say why not? They at least seem more trustworthy than the Gith.
Yeah, I guess I just worry that their own priorities might delay us in finding ours. Because we are on somewhat of a limited time.
What even is time?
The Inception
That's what the
music
pixel you're
starts
talking
playing in the
to.
background.
I hear you, though. My priority is Selig.
Hmm. So, Emmy, what exactly are you guys trying to accomplish on your mission? You've mentioned you're trying to find an old companion of yours that's clearly gone.
We
Shall
don't
we
need
say?
to find this companion. There was just this man that had something to do when we couldn't find her a long time ago. So it's odd that he's popping up again. And so we're investigating because he did have a connection with this elder evil we're looking for. And if you want me to be a little bit more honest about what I heard about some of your companions, is there is this astral mercenary, pirate, slaver named Barbas who was transporting 3 people who matched the description of 3 of your friends off to a Gith city.
Wait, they know his latest cargo? What cargo?
Yeah, I managed to overhear and pick up some things the last couple days.
Interesting.
And do you believe that
Sun got-
your that this man that you guys are after leads us in the same direction?
I mean, I'm not sure if it connects to the same world-ending cataclysm you all are worried about, but they do at least seem to align for a period. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know anything yet about your other friend, which you seem a little bit more pressed to find. Understandable, he is your friend. But that is what we know for now.
I mean, how many times do you want to pick an argument about this? Do not sell short the Lord of Light. He guides the steps, he guides all our things. Look at the providence that has presented itself. We
Yeah,
seek Barbas.
yeah.
We find 2 people who are friends with his latest cargo. If this is not his divine work, I do not know what is.
I mean, whether it's him or not, the fates certainly have a way with things in the astral sea. But yeah, this does seem a moment of providence.
Well, if our goals are aligned, I'm a halfway decent fighter. I'm sure we can separate the cargo from this guy. Shouldn't be an issue.
We just need to book passage to where they ended up. Say Tunarath, I think was the name of the city. They're being taken to. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tumnus.
No, as you guys, I think you guys probably have a map of this already pulled since you guys were already looking into booking a place to this. Like
Shuffling
already
around
located.
papers.
Yeah, so like Tumnus kind of like shuffling around trying to move all the books that he just had out. And yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
he shows you this this map of it says Tunaroth, which is a city in the astral plane that is a Githyanki city. It is their capital, and it is said to be built on the body of a long dead deity, a god. Uh, and he kind of shows you this kind of overview, this map of this like general astral sea, and like if something could be farther, like nothing could be farther away. It's like the border between um, the outer planes and where the astral sea meet. It is uh, a distant place to travel to. But yeah, they'll be able to kind of like show you this place where they've already been looking into going because they think that is where their path is being led. Trying to follow this Marvis character, who they've brought up a few times now.
And one thing, as Tumnus is looking up at you, maybe Xerxes, just because you seem to be a little bit more open to working with us, you'll notice that Tumnus has a blue eye and a red eye. Yes, so it's a long journey. I understand if you said Selig, if he's your top priority, that please, seek your friend. That is commendable. I've known Emmy and Rurik here on and off for, oh gosh, probably 20, 30 years now. And friendships like that you cannot replace. But this is a lead, it seems like. So if you're interested in coming with us, we would more than welcome to have you.
And I think this whole time you've been kind of going through that manifest that you've had access to, looking for anything about a Selig or even kobolds entering the city, just like trying to see if there's anything you can find. And the last kobold that had been in the manifest of the city was like about 2 months ago. And with the timeline, you don't suspect that would align, though time is strange here. But he was with like a essentially an incoming ship. He was a crew member on a pirate ship, essentially. Just doesn't fit the description. And there's nothing about any Saligs that you're seeing. As far as the manifest goes, there might be other ways to find information here. But like the punching in turnstile all seems to happen when you enter through one of those information towers, it seems.
And maybe this is like too meta, but it's possible that somebody could come to the astral sea if they knew where they were going. They wouldn't end up in turnstile, right? They just go to where they're going.
Yes, that I mean, I don't think that's meta at all. I think Xerxes might be able to pick up on that just through his experience so far. That yeah, it's like that. If we would have known where we were headed, maybe we could have got there, not been scooped up by these way cities.
Are there any other clues you could give us about this Selig friend of yours beyond a kobold? and his name is Salik.
Well, he's a druid. Has a bit of a business side to him.
Apparently.
Likes to hang out with dinosaurs.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Okay. So
Why did he come to the Astral Sea?
Exactly my next question.
Couldn't tell you. Dude was kind of a mystery, to be honest. He just kind of disappeared mid-fight. It was really weird, actually.
Wait, he just disappeared mid-fight on you? Totally don't know what that's like, but
What must that be like?
what was surrounding that situation?
Hale had a better look of it than I did.
He found himself in a tower. By the time I caught up to him, he was behind like a veil, some sort of magical barrier's not the right word, but almost like he was on the edge of a plane.
On the boundary between.
Yes.
Veil, it all sounds very Astral Sea.
Well, yes, hence we're here.
But no idea why he would be compelled to go there. Walk through that veil.
And he was traveling alone, you said.
He had a couple outbursts. No, I don't think he was alone. He had
As a companion.
random outbursts. I don't know if it's a companion, but there was some couple outbursts he had during and before the fight about, what was it, Xerxes? Proving himself, proving his power, letting go of past personas, something like that.
Yeah, he was having, I don't know, a crisis of self, it seemed like. Kind of had ever since we ended up there. See that Xerxes is kind of trying to like process what's all has happened the last, bit of time.
Such an interesting place there is.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, it's a boring story. You don't really want to hear about it.
Well, this other person that may be with this Salik, we could try looking up this person here. See if we find anything about
don't
who
think that
this
person's going
is.
to be in your logbooks.
Well, maybe not logbooks.
What makes you say that?
There's a pretty good possibility, or at least a decent chance, that it was Rowena.
Ring a bell. No idea.
Zero bell. Literally could be anyone to you guys.
Should we know that name?
Ah,
I'm a student of history, but I can't say I know of Rowena. She a fierce
From our
champion?
plane, she was a god.
Ooh.
Considered a god of the Astral Sea, or a god that resided in the Astral Sea.
One moment. Emmy will get up.
Stop.
She'll go to the central crystal, and she'll type in Rowena into the search engine.
Okay, yeah.
Did you
so
mean? Hang on, real quick. You totally misspelled Rowena. You do Rowana or something, and it includes results for. Sorry.
I'm feeling lucky.
Missed the accent
so
mark.
Emmy immediately is like, okay, that's something I can work with, and she heads out as you guys kind of continue talking about this, Rowena and being a deity, and yeah, I mean you can see on their faces that it's just not something recognizable. You say when it's a deity, they oh okay, from your plane, this Rowena is a deity, which implies that from their plane, this Rowena is not, wherever they're from. And so they, Emmy's like, I can work with this, heads outside. So Emmy, as you float towards the main crystal, And like the closer you get, the bigger and looming this thing is. And as you get closer, you start to glow that same color as a tendril of light kind of reaches out and just encases you. And as you put your hand upon the crystal, like you've done many times before, and start thinking Rowena, deity, astral sea god, you're trying to put in as much as you can here. Roll either an investigation check or any other intelligence-based check that you wish.
Do Arcana?
You
Is that the
can.
right person over there?
It'll base the knowledge you find might be based on the check you roll. The most general check would be investigation. And if you want to get more specific, Arcana would work. And you heard them say like deity, so you could go religion, but you also heard them say astral sea, and the astral sea is based on Arcana essentially. So that would also
My
work for
thoughts
you.
exactly. So I'll go ahead and give that to you.
Love it. Okay. So yeah, with the library behind you, that's a 32. You get a plus 10 with the library.
Okay, which was
And so that glow, which was around you, immediately like reaches out, and you feel it like come off you and reaches out, and you can see it reaching out to one of those outer rings that are just like turning around the outer circumference of the library, and it just like latches on, and like you've done many times before, then you just think yourself into it, and you go in, and it basically like fires you. It feels like you're getting shot out of a cannon, like over to it, accelerating your speed over to that bookshelf. And then when you get there, there's one book that's kind of like glowing in that coloration that you just pluck off the shelf.
She does exactly that, and that was the only thing that came up from that search result.
Yeah, with that, like you feel like this is the best instance. That's basically what it'll bring you. The best instance. Sometimes it will bring up many, but sometimes it will only bring up one, two. Sometimes only one. And this one seems to have only there's only one hit. It seems in this.
We'll bring it back to our little cubby room, whatever.
Yeah. So a few minutes later, Emmy will show up like holding this leather bound tome. And probably as you were floating over there, I assume Emmy starts just kind of floating through it. And as you're just generally like paging through this thing, it is a tome filled with information about like ancient entities, primordial in nature, like entities that lived long before worlds existed. These like primordial entities that sprang existence into life, like deities that created things, but not necessarily deities. Like this is talking about like pre-deities. This is primordial, ancient.
Time and time memorial type thing.
Exactly, like stuff from outside of the realms of this, like beyond the astral sea and the outer planes.
What a quaint little book we got here.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's also interesting to you just in general. Like this is like this could be interesting. Like there might be stuff in here that could help you on what you're looking for as well.
Surprised it didn't come up before, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
With the searches I've been putting in there.
It's one of those things where you maybe just didn't hit the exact thing. As you guys are doing this thing, so
cool.
Feel free to continue.
Flip through this book, find the name Rowena. Until Michael comes back.
I was going to say, I don't know what we're supposed to continue with, if I'm being honest.
Took a little prying out of you two to get something.
To be fair, they've had a weird last couple days.
I know, I'm just having my fun.
Plus, there's a video game on.
Oh, that's fair. Literally postponed my D&D game this last Saturday because one was like, "Oh, the Chiefs game." I'm like, "Yeah, let's just not play because even if everyone shows up, they're not gonna be there."
No.
Yeah.
All right. I is back.
It's like you never left.
I was here the whole time. Okay. So yeah, paging through this tome, it takes a while before you find anything that brings up the name Rowena, but there is in the book a very small passage about this primordial. It 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 basically talks of a primordial entity that had been released from a prison. And became a god. It is very like general for the most part. Like there isn't a lot here about this deity that, or this primordial that became a deity. There's reference to a pantheon of gods that would be familiar to Xerxes and Kale. There's like reference to the breaking of Rowena from this prison by Ulfried, which is a god they would recognize. Like there is, it's this story of deceit. Hey, quit. Come here. And it's strange. I mean, like especially coming from this book that is mostly filled with like these ancient old deities, but it seems like, or these ancient old beings, these primordials. But it seems like Rowena is one of them. She's held in the same esteem. I don't know is what you would refer to it as, but like the same place as these other like ancient beings from beyond the planes, beyond the realms. But she kind of seems to have fancied herself a god and became one. But there isn't anything necessarily about like anything. There isn't new information to like Kale or Xerxes essentially, um, other than that. But there isn't anything that like puts her in a certain place, or that would help you like, find your way to her. But it is of interest in the sense that she is seemingly like an ancient primordial.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of like saying a lot of this stuff out loud while she's reading it, seeing if anything rings a bell, the Xerxes or Kale. And maybe like looking up, judging the reactions as she's reading it.
Yeah. No, that's all about the knowledge that we've had about her. I mean,
So all
I
that
think
is
she's technically referred to as like the god of trickery or something like that, but she really wasn't one on my radar of deities to worry about.
so she was elevated at some point for who knows what reason from this primordial being to a deity.
Or so the author claims.
So
Remember,
the
Emmy,
author
you
claims.
must look between the lines for truth. What sort of
Correlation does
deity
not
could be
equal causation.
sort of deity could be imprisoned?
I mean, we did just read about, some gift that made a city on the dead body of a deity.
Claimed should be a dead body of a deity.
Okay. I get it. Claimed. We don't have proof yet.
Truth. Always seek the truth, Emmy.
Oh. We can't find the truth if we don't scratch the curiosities every now and then. Take some leaps of faith. Anyways, we didn't really learn anything more other than she might have another classification as this primordial entity. Not sure what that means. Does that mean anything to you guys? Primordials?
Element, if not
I
providing
mean,
help.
I suppose.
Our realm did have a little bit of primordial trouble in the past.
What do you mean?
An incursion of sorts, ending in the destruction of all of our deities. To be honest, I was mainly just trying to survive and help others survive.
Okay, your world does sound bad.
Aren't they all?
I mean, more or less. At times they get worse or better. But typically, if a whole pantheon goes, that's not good.
I think technically it was 2 pantheons.
It just okay, all right. Does that matter in this at all? Were they fighting with each other? Does that have something to do with this primordial incursion?
I don't know. Tumnus just seemed like a stickler for the details. Thought he'd appreciate.
Fair. Good for the history notes, I suppose. Well. Was there any mention of the name of this prison?
Not a name, but it is described as a prison of like amber colored glass, like an amber prison, if you will.
I'm gonna go look up Amber Prison.
Great. Emmy goes back out, thumping the book closed, tossing it onto the table. What would you like to roll?
Prison trapping. God. Oh God. Let's do Arcana again.
Okay. Oof. Emmy. 26.
26.
The worst you could possibly do. Incredible. Yeah, there are multiple hits
I guess I
that
could be
shoot out.
guidancing myself too.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, there are multiple hits that kind of reach out and touch multiple areas. There's always one that's like strongest But you can always like go check out the others from going to the first one. Like once you get to the first one, it kind of like leaches out to the others. So yeah, you can come back with a couple of books. It'll take a little while to kind of thumb through them, but like pass them out around the table for people to look at.
Anything about this amber prison?
Yeah, so like the interesting things that come up in multiple of these books about this um, like things described in amber, these like especially like prisons, like you get hits on this kind of like specific amber gem that is like magical in nature. Like some of the books talk about like these like arcane blocking, divine blocking stones. Essentially, like these that they're writing about these amber stones. These that are they block all magic that goes through divine and arcane. They block, physical everything. It's just like nothing gets through these things. And so there's some of these that are talking about like creating kind of like mage prisons from them. There's things that are talking about like making like mage collars and mage handcuffs and making things out of these, like using them as essentially weaponry. Then there's others that are like talking about like this stone could be made from to protect us from things like we can make shields. We can, there's a lot of the like what we can do with this technology, and then others talking about where it came from. These like meteorites is where they're finding this material, finding it in small portions, making its way from somewhere beyond, somewhere in space, essentially, and that it's not terrestrial, it's not made in this place, and seeking where we can get more of it. And then there is a hit that actually talks about the Githyanki collecting this amber material to weaponize it against the Illithid, because it also blocks psionics. And that the Githyanki are collecting these amber gems, this space rock. You don't find any specific hits on like amber prison or anything like that, but like
No
there's all
locations
these,
or anything.
yeah, but there's all these specific things, and that one stands out as like this race of basically like evil warpath aliens are aware of whatever this.
So they might have more on it. More idea of where it is, where it comes from, what it's being used for. Oh great. Another reason to travel to Githyanki territory.
Well, as you said before, sometimes all roads lead to the same place.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the chance to educate some heathens. What more fun could we possibly have?
Back into the depths of the astral sea it is. You all interested in booking a ride out of here? Looking for these friends of yours captured by the Githas? Or kind of turning up dry on following any leads for your sailing friend aside from maybe something out there with the Gith as well? If they have anything to do with this amber stuff.
Well, me and Xerxes kind of talked it over, and he made a good point that it'd be worth traveling with somebody that actually seems to know the ins and outs of the astral plane that we're in, so... And if we have reason to believe that the Gith have at least two of Xerxes' companions, as you say.
Maybe 3.
Maybe.
Granted, they haven't been split up yet. Anyways, sounds like we're agreed then.
If we're all going to the same place.
Wonderful. Well, shall we go pack our things? Is there anything else here you all guys want to research, figure out about? You do have a giant library.
Can you do a search about someone named Isabel?
I mean, I could do the search, or don't you want to turn? Do you want to try it? Come on, it's fun.
I think it looks like you get a lot of joy out of it, so...
Oh, we're sharing it. She starts dragging Kale to the crystal.
Love that.
Ooh, caught me red-handed.
10 out of 10. No notes, Nate.
Yeah, so Emmy drags you out there, Kale, so that you can experience the crystal. Yeah, and as you approach it, like the both of you, it reaches out these like glowing light tendrils that just kind of go around you, and you feel the warmth almost immediately as you approach, and it almost like feels like it's asking you to reach out and put your hand on. Like, it's a weird thing. It almost feels like you mind meld with it when you touch it. But is there something you wish to ask it about?
I guess the only thing that I would be interested in asking was... It's like status of Isabel, status of Nothgate, status of a god of Twilight. Is there a currently appointed one?
Roll a check. Intelligence-based check, your choice. Religion feels like where we're at, but you can go elsewhere. Investigation is like the base, but you can go more specific if you wish.
Guidance that too. Get one more.
A little guidance. 22. Yeah, as you like put your hand on it and start thinking these things, first thing is Isabel. Twilight, God, Nothgeeth, like kind of digging through this lexicon in your head. It reaches out to a few places, and after digging through those books a bit, there is a general many general books about the pantheon of your plane. It's general information that you already. It's the burnt PDF in there, like it's not giving you much. It's just people talking about the gods. There's specifically a whole thing about the unseen goddess. Like there's books about her. None of them have any information regarding the name Isabel specifically. You can take that many ways. One of which could be in the realms of your timeline. Isabel's a very recent name. Maybe no one's written about her in this library. These books are all written by someone. So you don't find anything specific regarding the name Isabel.
Cool. Fine.
Or the current status, because there isn't anything necessarily written currently about anything like that that's in this library. But there's plenty of stuff digging into the depths of lore, the unseen goddess in your world. So there is a lot of that. So if you want to check out a book, you certainly can.
So no, I think as he looks through, and he's like, oh no, that's probably too soon. And he goes, well, and we'll go back to the crystal, and we're going to, instead of Isabel, we're gonna search for Viserys, or like anagrams of Viserys, or synonyms of Viserys, or primordial Viserys, like searching for long ago, maybe what he could have been called pre-Pantheon.
Love it.
Do you want Emmy's assistance in looking for this?
Sure.
Can we help each other, or is it still just one of us straight check?
It's just one person rolling, but you
Let me
can
do,
give the guidance.
So I can add something to this too.
Cool.
Where's the dice?
One again.
Your default was broken.
Dice.
Bro.
Oh, cool. 17.
I put on the only can roll ones on the
The low
So-
rolls only night.
27 total, right?
Yeah,
With the
get
plus
that
10
out.
from the orb. Or gem.
Yeah, so there's a few interesting things that happen here. It leads you to the same general place that you found a lot of information about Nafkeith. And you do see that it does highlight a few things that talk about the general pantheon and mention Viserys by names. But then there are a few places it takes you to other books in the library, and they're blank when you open them. And then you go to another one because that's weird, and it's also blank. And then you go to the third one that's also highlighted. That's having the information that you're asking, and it's blank. All the pages are there.
In the months that Emmy's been here, has she seen that?
0 times.
0 times.
Hey,
Let's-
Dumbness.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go find Tumnus.
Yeah, so you grab those blank books.
Yeah. And kind of walk down and just kind of toss them on the table. Big thud. Can you explain why these books are blank?
I don't know, Michael. Can I?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at them, and like, what the heck did you ask for? Like, did you ask for some journals? That they just look like old books. Like the pages are old. One of them, the pages are really brittle, and like some of them are like kind of falling apart a little bit, like threadbare. These books, like they generally look pretty old, but there's no ink on those pages. There's no like ink stains. They're blank.
I'll first go to the little, back cover that has the little sleeve that says you checked it out last.
Yeah.
Can I see who had the books last?
If that exists in this library, which I think is fun that it does, those are also blank. And every time you ask for a book, your name immediately is just automatically added. So you would suspect that your name would show up in this book now after you return it.
Yeah.
Essentially. Or not your
Um,
name, but Kale's.
Yeah. Emmy, are you can you detect any magic emanating from this book?
Give me a moment. I mean, we'll take the time to ritually cast Detect Magic and look over the blank books.
There is, I wouldn't call it active magic, but you sense that there is like magic has happened here. There's trace magics like left. I don't know.
So it's not like the magic,
Transmutation probably.
right? So it's not like it's like an illusion that's like hiding the text. It was removed.
You get the sense that
or
it was
altered.
removed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not good. I could have done something about the other option. But having just removed it, I can take a look to see maybe there's some traces amounts. Since Emmy is, does a lot of this, encoding and deciphering with her own magic books. Is there any sense that she's seeing like anything like within the page, anything just remaining as she's kind of like really closely inspecting?
There, roll investigation with advantage because you have detect magic.
21.
So you just really starting to get in there with one of these books and like trying just to like you sense that the magic has been done here. And as you're looking, you're just trying to see if there's like anything here. Like there's a moment where something like catches your eye and like does Emmy have a magnifying glass on her or something like that?
Could she have?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I forget that's like an item that actually has like an effect.
If Emmy doesn't, I'm sure Tumnus does. Between the two of them.
Yeah.
I pull it out of my bag of holding.
Yeah. Okay. So Emmy's collected one over the time. Pulls out a magnifying glass, like really like trying to get in there, and you see like these like vaguely glowing. Can't see with the naked eye these like glyphs, like this long strand of arcane glyphs, and there's a lot of them. And it's almost like they're like paragraphs across the face of these pages of this like nearly invisible arcane glyphs, and it looks like archaic to you. Like this is like Nobody does it like this.
Oh,
It's nearly indetectable, and it is like encasing the book.
hey, Tumnus. It's probably not kosher, but I think we could slip this book out. It may take
Why-
a while for me to
Why
decipher
would we
some
do
of the
that?
things in here, especially if we're leaving.
Can I, Tumnus Soul, borrow the glass and take a look? Is it a language or is it like magical?
So you won't be
Writing
able to see it
spell.
unless you have detect magic.
Oh, okay. So I can't see anything. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's barely there with detect magic up.
It's me. It's there.
What were you seeing, Emmy?
Just these arcane runes and signs and sigils, but nothing like the modern uses or versions of them. These are old, ancient.
Are
This
the
was probably done
symbols
a very long time ago, possibly.
overwriting text? Are they the text themselves?
I'm not sure. They could be dregs of the magic that was used to transmute and change the books.
Do you think we could dispel it?
Potentially. And she'll check through the books that we have, and they all have some of that stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so the three specifically that are blank all have that to look for.
Yeah. We can try to dispel one of them, see if that turns anything up.
Is one of the books like just a Dummy's Guide to the Pantheon 101? They would not have any important information.
You do have one of those, but that's not one of the ones that.
Okay.
That one does have information regarding Mithras in it.
Not one of the blank ones.
Not one of the blank. The blank ones, they don't have titles. Nothing. They're just leather-bound tomes, essentially. They're not huge books, but they all of them are.
So, Emmy, before we do this,
Mm-hmm.
since you seem to be of arcane experience,
I've only had a few years practicing it.
could you think of any way where this would be booby-trapped to where if somebody tampered with it, it would do something dangerous?
I mean, certainly that's possible, as many things are possible, especially when you get into the deeper things of magic. I don't get a sense that they're that way, but if someone's clever enough, powerful enough, they can hide that.
Okay.
I don't have the spell magic prepared today.
That's fine. Which book would you pick?
She looks over them. I mean, we're just going off the titles and covers, really.
Well, they don't have titles, so go off your favorite color. Or least favorite color.
One
Go
is
with the
black,
red.
one is green, and one is like a deep maroon.
Go with the maroon one.
Well done.
Okay. I will grab that maroon book, and then I am going to, like, fling it across the floor so it slides across the room,
Great.
and cast Dispel
Destruction of
Magic on it.
property.
It's, It's sliding across the floor. It's not destructive.
All right.
Yet.
Roll spell casting. What's your spell casting ability? Wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom check, if you will.
Wisdom check.
Right, your wisdom casting guy.
Yeah, you just clicked your
Yeah.
wisdom score.
I know. I
or
was
whatever.
thinking it was something. Well, yeah, that's my perception that I like skyrocketed for fun.
Oh, that's a save.
Oh yeah, that's a save.
Oh, dumb.
That's an 18 on the die. I don't know what
Probably
your
be
wisdom is.
+5,
Plus
right?
5, probably.
My
So
wisdom's
23.
plus 10. Oh, yeah.
Plus 5.
Your wisdom is not plus.
Oh well, there you go. It's plus 5.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay.
Wisdom plus 10. That'd be something.
A couple of things happen. You know, and those of you steeped in magical knowledge know that the most powerful magical effects are that a caster can do is a level 9 spell, which would make the possible DC of this a DC 19, because 10 plus the spell's level, so DC 19. Kale crits, gets a 25. And Kale, you feel the resistance of this tome. It shakes in a way counterintuitive to an object that is just laying on the ground as you cast Divine. It starts shaking, and you feel it in your mind. And I need to make you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez.
Sorry, Joe.
You all see Kale a blood streak come out of his nose. Give me a second.
Love where this is going.
Let me. What is this? Ability check. Saving throw. Yes, sir. She's in all these. Cool.
21 total.
21.
21 totes. Okay, that's good to know. I'm digging here. Didn't know we were going to this place. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Michael, you have a whole library for us to explore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What did you get?
21.
20.
It was a 19, and then I rolled a d6 because I have a little help ability.
Icky.
So 21.
Kale dies.
There's good news and bad news.
Jeez Louise.
I feel really bad that Kale did this now.
Were you lying about having to spell magic?
No, I just don't have it prepared. I would have done it if I had it prepared. Because this
It's
is
not your
like,
fault.
Amy's kind of like,
I mean-
she would be kicking herself over this. Actually,
It's a wisdom save. Like that's you know, it's a huge save for me.
Yeah,
Like, it's
Yeah,
I
fine.
think 21 should get the job done. You would think.
Not against
Kale,
the level 17 spell, or whatever the fuck we're dealing with.
Kale, you take 89 points of necrotic damage.
Holy
Okay.
What?
fuck.
Is that it? Is there more?
What was the
No.
good news? You said that right. I didn't make that up.
Something appears in the book.
He did say good news, bad news.
and the
Good news is you
The
don't die. Bad
pages.
news, the book explodes.
Yeah.
the pages of the book slowly start to bleed in, and you can start to see ink filling the pages as you have dispelled the magic of the book. You succeeded
Oh my god, Kale.
on a DC 25
Yeah.
check to dispel ancient magic.
So you're saying there was a chance? I could.
There was a chance. It's very good that you did
Yeah.
it.
If we do
Was
that
there
again,
a,
Kale.
I guess.
So what do we see happening to Kale?
You see the book
like,
begin to
you're in
shake on the
time?
ground like rapidly. The book shakes and kind of opens, and you can see the pages spilling out, and that's when you start to see the ink start to like fill in these letters. These pages start to fill in, and yeah, I mean, you see the blood start to drip from Kale, and Kale, you feel this intense pain, like just all inside you, this necrosis, and it just feels like it's coming from the inside, as it just like rotting you. Something that I don't think Kale has probably felt before is that.
I would. Yeah. Oh.
Holy shit, Kale.
Yeah, he racks over on the table a little bit, just
Just.
What'd you do?
Yeah, a little bit of you got some blood.
I'll.
Get 6
Ow.
points of healing.
6 points.
Here, wait, here. I'll help
It's
you.
not my
I'll help you.
specialty. I
Please,
can just do it a little bit.
I'll take care of myself. Go
Okay,
read the book.
will do. Have me do
Here's
that
there's
next
a little.
time.
It's still bleeding. Here. And
I'll take care of that
And
whatever the
you can-
fuck just happened inside.
you can take 5 more.
11
Oh my
points
gosh,
of
it's not
healing.
stopping.
It's just blood just
Give me a minute to
out of his
focus.
solid 11 points of healing. It's
What
fine.
do we even?
It's fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna frickin'. Oh, what's my biggest one? Oh yeah, that's right, because we're fucking beastly now.
That'll help. I mean, the
Gets
5 and the
that
6 were solid.
Okay.
Yeah, what's... Actually, mine was terrible. I rolled a 1. I thought it was just a nosebleed.
Yeah, it's true. You couldn't see the necrosis happening inside of him.
You're looking less pale now.
I'm
Just a little bit, though.
a little better. Well,
I will
I'll take a
go
good rest
and, like...
later.
Because he threw it across the floor, right? That's how he dispelled the
Oh
magic.
yes.
I will go and, like, grab it by the corner and just kind of, like, be holding it up and bring it back to the table.
Love it. Yeah, feels like a book.
What language is it written in?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Common and I have one more. Celestial.
Neither of those.
How about Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Deep, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, or Sylvan?
None of those.
Damn!
Ooh. Ooh.
Primordial?
Not primordial.
Neat.
It's almost like it's a different language entirely.
Okay. Give me 10 more minutes, will you, please?
Yeah.
Does comprehend languages tell you what language it is?
uh,
I'm gonna pretend like it does. So
I do just the check.
It does
No.
not specify.
Cast it as a ritual. Duration. You understand any written language that you see. But you must be touching the surface.
Rurik's going to check and see if it's the 1.5 languages he knows.
Which one's the half
Um,
one?
He's got undercommon, but he doesn't really speak it. He just kind of think he picked it up along the way a little bit.
Oh, I
You
remember
know.
when we went down there.
in Skullport, picked it up along the way.
Enough
What
to
a
get his
place.
vengeance.
Enough to get his vengeance. I'm sure it helped down there.
Alright. So, Emmy begins decoding it.
Okay.
If this works.
The language, Emmy, is Necral, which is a language like of undeath, and it is coded. There are some notes within the book that seem like regular, just like footnotes on things like that aren't coded. It almost looks like a journal to you, this book.
But it'll take time to decode this, essentially.
Yeah, but it's written in code.
Well, Emmy's familiar with how that works, so she's confident she can do it. It'll just take time, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, Emmy has broken codes before.
And writes her own, too.
So.
Like girl code?
Well, if you ever,
Code?
I mean, if you read her spell book, it would look like cooking recipes. Or something like that. It wouldn't read like a spell book. Well, I think we should take this book. And maybe the other two ones, too.
Question.
We'll be more prepared when we do try it on the other ones. I have ideas.
Do I feel like I would have taken more damage if, say, I had a lesser background in arcane, or some would say had a weaker mentality? For future attempts? Or do I feel like that was pretty much par for the course?
As you failed your saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Okay.
give you that.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay,
That's
Say
good.
no more. Yeah, that's fine.
But you
If 21
also
save.
you also did pass the spell magic check. Also take
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of questions there that I don't think we'll be able to answer as far as for attempt 2.
And Emmy can make the other attempts. So she would. I think I could be a little better at them. Not that you did a wonderful job, just might be less in danger if I do it.
That is your call, lady.
Hey, it's a bit of
That
my
is-
specialty as all.
That is a level that I'm not sure exists anymore.
Oh, the magic behind this.
Yes.
Well, that's in line with the arcane runes and sigils used, or that were left over from the casting. What is this? What is this Vistris god to you?
He's the one trying to destroy our timeline.
Ah, he's your elder people. Got it.
Yeah, he's the one that I suppose we're trying to stop by bringing Xerxes and Selig back. And perhaps
Someone.
the others.
Wait, others? You have more friends that need help?
So, yeah, Xerxes, the two ladies that you were
Right.
referring to. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, definitely someone I'm guessing you wouldn't really want to mess with, considering to the lengths someone went to erase something about him.
Well, I think Xerxes had a run-in with him. With some of his other party.
Met and
Ye-
survived.
I mean, if you can call it survival.
You're here.
Yeah, but so were the ones that were defeated by him. I can't really explain it.
Have time, sure. Things will come up. I am quite intrigued, though.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if time's gonna help.
Oh, it helps with lots of things. You just gotta have enough of it. Do
Well-
we have enough of it? You guys aren't on. How urgent is this whole thing to you?
Well, if we want to chase down Barbas, we don't want to dally too long.
No, that's true. Well, do you need to rest up, Kale, before we head out?
I can probably rest on the boat, I imagine.
Okay. Well, if you have any things back at the inn, we can go back there, retrieve them, collect the books, retrieve them here. Are we gonna have any trouble telling this leaving?
No, we should be fine.
All right. And Emmy kind of like looks around, maybe goes back to detect magic, see if there's any prying eyes in the room, and we'll slip the 3 books of question into her bag of holding.
Love it. Just stealing from one of the most exclusive libraries that exists.
They won't miss it. They were blank.
Kale checked him out.
Truth. All right.
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
I mean,
Emmy,
you-
take this one too. Roach
Sure.
has big bad book of monsters of the multiverse
Oh, do you?
that he's been reading about all the fantastic enemies over every single universe.
Are you sure you don't want this one? Look, it's the sequel. It's going
Okay,
my heart too.
all right.
Word
Surely
kind
you've
of
read the
come
first one.
opposed. All right. So yeah, you guys going back to what's our plan? Are we spending the night? Are we just heading out? Trying to go find a boat?
I don't believe me or Xerxes have any belongings to really go gather, so it's
No.
I think we're just trying to go find a boat.
pretty much ready to.
Yeah, I mean the rest of them have to go back to the tavern.
I mean, if they got to get their stuff, and then
You're saying.
I mean, Kale just got curb stomped internally. It's probably been a full day from all of this. I think we probably should just rest and then go in the morning.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys haven't found a ship yet necessarily. But if you wish to rest, that's something absolutely could do. Cool.
That works.
Okay. So you leave the library with the books in the bag. Make your way to the inn first. Enter the inn. Everything's chill. Highball is there. Kind of gives you all the wave. I mean, Rourke, you have rooms here. Actually, you all do. Because Xerxes and Kale also got rooms. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Nope, sure did.
So yeah, if you guys want to take the night, do your long rest, you can. Drink a few ales, talk about the multiverse, whatever it is you need to do. And in the morning,
Book a boat.
Sweet.
book a boat.
Book a
Yeah.
boat.
I think Tumnus that evening would start like putting some feelers out for boats leaving the next day.
Okay.
Try and get some leads just to make it faster in the morning.
Roll investigation or persuasion. Your choice. Or deception if you want. Okay. Yeah, you have a couple boats that you know are headed in the direction that you're going. Like you get your feelers out essentially. So you feel like you'll have a lead in the morning.
Cool.
Either you talk to someone and they told you of some, or you talk directly to some people and they were like, "Yeah, maybe we can do something for you."
Okay.
So you guys will kind of have an idea of where to head. Is there anything else anyone needs to do in the morning, like within the tavern still, or anything like that specifically?
Don't think so.
Nope.
Okay. So you spend your first night in the Astral City. Not the first night for all of you, but the first night for two of you. It's nice because this tavern has gravity, so everything feels cool and good, just like home. You've uncovered a lot today. More in a few hours than you had in weeks at some points in times, just based on where you are. You found some kind of book belonging to Viscerus, or about Viscerus, or written by some who Viscerus, who's to say. But it was blocked by some kind of ancient and evil magic. So that's something that you'll need to look into at some point. Obviously, you've met some new people from elsewhere that seem to be able to help you in some way, shape, or form. They don't know exactly your plight, but they seem amiable and like that you could work together towards a similar goal. While they're chasing this Barbus, who has something to do with their own elder evil problem. This Barbas, who so happens they have knowledge, was smuggling people that seem to be some of the people that you know about. 2 elves, an elf, a half elf, an owl. Were smuggled by this Barbas to Narath, a city of the dead, a Githyanki capital, at the edges of the astral sea. As you guys all kind of come downstairs in the next day, about ready to follow those leads that Tumnus had kind of put his feelers out about the night before, you walk into an empty tavern. The spawning portal is cleared out. Not crazy, because usually it's bumping in the evenings. It's not really a morning place. As you exit the stairway, you hear like a shuffling behind the door that you would just exit, and like locking of the door, maybe.
Nice. Love that.
And then entering from the main door, walk in 2 yellow-skinned Githyanki, as well as entering from a side door and rising up from behind the bar. And they look not in the best of moods. They're like, polishing their brass knuckles, beating their metal pipe against their hand. Figuratively speaking, of course. And because it's 10 o'clock, I think that's where we'll end it tonight. Because who knows how long combats take.
Well,
but they don't look happy.
is this next day, right?
This is
next day.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fully stocked.
Okay.
Do these
These
by
poor
chance
Gith-
look like the same 2 Gith that one of which
Yeah,
might
tell us
have
that
a
at
bright
least.
scar on his shoulder?
Gith are hard to spot, but you can tell one of them has a bunch of new padding underneath his armor, and like some bandages because his fucking whole chest has been burned. Yeah, they do look to me.
It's all right.
At least
They don't know
2
it
of
was
them.
I'm
They have
sure
a
we
few
can
friends.
smooth everything over. We'll be fine. We'll make some new friends and be on our merry way.
How many of them were there?
4
4?
that you saw. Yeah.
Oh, then let's just do it. We're fine.
We just broke a level 17 spell. Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I do have ways to try and stack those new rolls in the future for those other books.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I did forget to describe the crystal as a rhombicosidodecahedron.
How many facings
By the
is
way.
that?
37, 36?
No, it's
What?
it's even weirder than that.
Oh, cool. Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I'm gonna link it in the chat. Yeah. I had it in my notes, but I breezed right past it. It is this. Why you no work? Ah, God,
No.
gods.
Gods of dawn and dusk.
Okay, here we go. I'll just link the wiki. There you go. If you click it, why? Why doesn't that link?
Okay, I'm just copying this into Google.
Yeah,
and seeing
just
what
copy that.
happens.
And search for it.
Is an
Oh,
Archimedean solid one of
So
13
cool.
convex, gonal, non-prismatic.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I reading?
It has 20 triangle faces, 30 square faces, and 12 pentagonal faces, 60 vertices, and 120 edges. Click on the model so you can see it rotating, because that's what I picture the center thing in the library looking like. If you click on the picture, it takes you to a spinning model. It's great. Click here for rotating. I wish I could put that in. Just spin. It's really satisfying to look
That's
at.
really trippy.
It's a cool thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 100. It's 100 feet across.
Yeah.
Pretty fitting.
And there's
Pretty fitting.
cool glowing purple pink light inside.
Love it.
By the way, what deity does Tumnus follow?
It's a great question.
Great question.
Some Lord of Light.
Yeah. We can get to that next week.
Okay.
I'm Lord of Light.
Amy can be patient about something she might already know.
Oh yeah, you definitely already know.
Okay. Andrew can wait for the surprise.
Xerxes,
Yeah.
what did
No, me
Xerxes and
it's not.
Gale think of your new friends? Curious.
They're interesting.
Very interesting.
Shall we?
We're truly in a multiverse with 2 characters out of a prior campaign and 1 out of C.S. Lewis. So
Nailed it.
That's your patron, Santa Claus.
Father Christmas to you.
Father Christmas, okay.
Please.
You're right. I should say it properly.
Good stuff happening.
I'm excited to see this party do combat.
Fucking find out.
I am too.
Yeah.
just from appearances, it seems well balanced, which we have not had in a long time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm excited about it. Like Kalen, Rurik can go up in the front, and
That's interesting.
I'm a glass cannon. I don't know about Emmy, but at the very least, one glass cannon.
Cannon, maybe not glass, but maybe not as strong. I don't know. Emmy's more of a utility mage.
Gotcha.
I haven't seen her at this level, so
I mean, there's lots of stuff. That wizard spell is very long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Preach.
there was like 7 levels of wizard spells. I had to choose.
all. Well, I really can't wait to see them in action, to be honest.
It's gonna be good.
And then on to the, supposing you survive Githyanki.
I would imagine so.
I mean, if we can't survive this one, what hope are we going to have in the goddamn capital city?
Going to their city, yeah.
Yeah, if we don't tear through them like tissue paper, I'm worried about where we're going.
True.
Fuck the authorities.
Tunarath is a horrifying place.
Good.
She'll surely learn about next week. But it's exciting.
Is there a leader there too? Is that like the capital city?
That is the capital city. I believe it's where she's believed. to be the Lich
Black
Queen
Death.
of the Githyanki.
Black Death.
Yeah, and they fun things about the Githyanki. They are said to have a deal with Tiamat.
Yeah.
They ride red dragons.
As Nate and I know from playing Baldur's Gate 3, we got a little familiar with some Githyanki.
They're a fucked up race that
Yeah,
were literally bred to kill the Illithid, and they embrace that.
yeah. They got a lot of history between those two,
Yeah.
from what I hear.
This leads to two Narnia.
They were all pretty tough in Baldur's Gate.
Tough as nails, hard asses. Pretty much.
This is
If you're in our way,
Baldur's
we're gonna
Gate
kill
4.
you.
So, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
This is
I think
Baldur's
you can
Gate.
actually get Blackith to kill you in the middle of the game. If you make bad choices, she just murders you, I'm pretty sure.
oh, when you go to the crash.
Yeah, when you go to the crash and then she's like, hey, why don't you do this for me? And if you're like, no, I'm not going to do that, you just try and leave, I think she just kills you and it's game over.
Yeah, I did have to fight my way out of there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah, felt a little bad about that. Cause
It's hard to feel that bad because all the Gith are just super racist. They're all just like, well, I'm just better than you, stupid elf.
They think they're just the best, literally, the best. Oh, it'll be fun dealing with them again.
I think they
I
all
will
had
say
like,
I was pretty stoked when they were provoked.
Yeah. Give you some good material to go look at.
Yeah, provoked to get the wins.
I mean, you were the one that put the Gith in there all those years ago.
Yeah, they exist.
When did he put the Gith in?
There's a cutscene where we see a Gith.
Oh, was there? Which one was
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, we don't. I don't think we knew it was Git necessarily. It was just like we saw like a yellow hand pick up
Yellowfoot.
yellow
And then
foot.
yellow hands.
Yeah.
And then no-nosed, yellow-skinned, elven-looking mother effer.
Oh, we did get a facial description.
I think you got a facial description.
Wait, was this one the
Post Robert.
Post big brain dead.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
When you sent the brain back. Found an